I have split for sleeves. It's rainbow speckles, so of course she's gonna love it. Amaranth flower, it just felt like it was meant to be. Hey folks, if you're new here, I'm Dawn. This is Tangled Together, where I talk about my knitting hobby and the other things in life that get tangled up in it. Another month has gone by, so let's update you on what has been on my needles this month. So I don't have any finished objects for March. March was a good month for casting things on and making progress, but I did not finish anything. So instead, I'm wearing a finished object from last year. This is the Dido Tee, the Patterns by Nordland, and I knitted up in Kim Diane's yarn in her Cronut blend, which is a silk merino that is so buttery soft. I will also note, if my voice sounds weird or I seem like my nose is red, it's because it's allergy season here in Virginia. All the trees have decided to pollinate and there's a layer of green on everything, and my allergies hate it. Let's get into some works in progress. I do have an update on the Moby Sweater Junior that I'm making for my daughter. So I think previously I was still working on the body, so I finished the body, and I'm about a third of a way through a sleeve. I was making pretty good progress on this, but I set it aside because I reached the point with the sleeve where the short needles I had weren't quite short enough, and with the cables and everything, I didn't really want to do magic loop. I much prefer 2 circular needles to magic loop. So instead, I ended up kind of setting it aside because I realized I had misplaced one of my needles in the size that I needed, so I had to order a replacement, and while I was waiting for that replacement, I just kind of set it aside and didn't pick it back up. I think that's going to be something I would like to finish this. It's far too warm weather-wise for her to wear it, but then it will be done and ready for her to wear in the fall and winter. So yeah, I think that's going to be a plan for April, is just to finish this off, because I probably only have like maybe a week or less worth of knitting to get through with this, and then it will be done. So yeah, and this is knit up in Knit Picks Hawthorne DK in their Confetti Speckle, I believe. It does hide some of the cabling, especially on camera. It's a little bit more clear in person and like when you're not looking at it full on. But somebody did point out that the rainbow speckling will help hide any stains. So that's nice to know for kids' clothes. Plus, it's rainbow speckles, so of course she's gonna love it. You can see a few spots where, like, this is one skein, and then I think like down here is another. So there is, you know, because it is that like kettle dyed, each skein is a little different. I don't feel like it's as obvious on the back as it is on the front. I'll see in blocking and everything if that kind of evens out, but it also doesn't bother me that much. The next work in progress that I have to show you, I cast on kind of at the beginning of the month. You can see it here, and this is the start of the Staffen Light vest. So it's going to be a tank top in this really nice, fun, helps if I show you the right side, textured pattern. So I'll pop a picture of what the final object should look like. And this really went very, very quickly. I cast this on because the upcoming work in progress that I'll show you next, I'm doing as part of a knit along, and so I wanted to cast that on like at the start of the knit along, and needed something to work on while I was waiting for the needles for the Moby sweater to come in, and this was something that I had on my queue. I'm trying to work through my pattern queue list. So yeah, I cast this on. This was probably only about a week's worth of knitting, and this is the back. It starts with the back and then you cast on the left shoulder, right shoulder, and then join underarms and work down. This is being knit up in Knit Picks Melisa sock yarn in Amaranth Flower, which is this really nice saturated purple. I really like the feel of it, and it has really good stitch definition, so I think it's going to look really great, especially like when the light hits it. I do like using darker yarns for like textured, because while it sometimes can be hard to see like far away that it's texture, once you get up close, and then especially like in the natural light or depending on how the light hits it, it really can make the texture pop quite a lot. Yeah, it's an easy pattern to remember and follow, especially once you get down to where you're not like increasing, because it's just following this texture of a ribbing, and then there's a diamond that's broken up by these sections of little Estonian buttons, which doing the Estonian buttons are so much fun. I've never done baubles before. This is my first like experience into doing baubles, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I will probably be picking this back up once I am done with the other big whip that I'm doing for the knit along. Speaking of which, the main thing that I have been working on is a Anacortes tee. This is part of the Anacortes knit along, and I actually have kind of two to show you. So I initially cast this on, this part on in size 4 and knit along. I actually made it almost to joining for like splitting for sleeves. Then during the Knitting by the Sea retreat, I took a class from Tanya Lyons, Nerdy Knitting, on how to adapt patterns to fit you. And I realized I wanted to do a different size in the Anacortes tee, because the size 4 was going to give me like 4.5 inches of positive ease, and the recommended positive ease on this is 2 to 3 inches, I believe. But the size 3 was going to give me like maybe an inch of positive ease. But because of the class, I know how to add in increases where I need it and decrease. So because more so less on my bust but more on my waist, I needed the size 4. But the size 3 was going to fit better for my shoulders and kind of everything else. So when I set this one aside and I cast on the size 3. Probably not going to notice a huge difference in the two. As you can see, I have split for sleeves. And what I'm going to do is add a little bit of waist shaping, so have it come in a little bit, but then add basically like hip shaping so that it doesn't sit and like pool on my hips, so that there will be space for there. And I think it's going to be a much better fit than the size 4. And honestly, this is a very easy pattern, I think, to add in shaping, because it does have this twisted rib along the side, and the whole thing is just broken rib. So you can very easily add some increases or decreases into the broken rib, and that's going to look really nice. The twisted rib side is going to stay consistent. And yeah, I think it will just look really nice. It will add in that shaping. And I'm very excited to have this done. I have been knitting this one for about 2 weeks now. Yeah, like a week and a half, 2 weeks. It's going very quickly. I'm probably going to hoping to finish it before the end of the knit along, and looking forward to wearing it. Although the weather here has gotten warm very, very quickly, so I may have to wait till fall. This is knit up in Knit Picks Gloss, which is a silk merino blend. So it is a little bit cooler of a yarn than like a full merino. And I hand dyed this. You can actually see the process that I went through. This was my first experience dyeing yarn, so I'm very excited about this. It is a little bit of a darker color than I expected. The color was called Dusty Rose, and this came out a little bit more purple-y, plummy. Not that I have a problem with that. I think it's a really good color for me, but just not quite what I was expecting, and it came out a lot more saturated. I don't know if that's, I think that might be the silk. I think the silk may have just picked up a little bit more of the dye than if it was just wool. I don't know. I don't have that much experience. If you have more experience dyeing yarn and dealing with different fiber types, let me know. Because I definitely would enjoy dyeing yarn again. It's nice to be able to get like the color that you want, even if you can't find it like in store. This pattern has been really great to follow. I did a new to me cast on. I'm forgetting the name of it. I'll put the name of it up here. But it is a like ribbed, I think it was the ribbed cable cast on. I've done cable cast ons before, but I've not done them as like a 1x1 ribbing. It's like super, super stretchy. So that's nice. It's not going to be like too tight around my neck. It will block out, but still like springs back. I really like the twisted rib details along the raglan shaping and then down the sides. Very happy. It does have some short row shaping as well, so the neck's not gonna be like choking me. And yeah, and I am doing the T version. This pattern has instructions for the long sleeve and the short sleeve in the pattern, and then Michelle has a bunch of other Anacortes patterns. She's got a shawl and socks. I think that's it. And then the tee and pullover. So for the knit along, we're, just pick one of those and do it in, during the time period. It's my first knit along, so that's been fun seeing like what other people are knitting. There have been some people who've already finished, especially like socks. And yeah, and it was perfect timing because this was already on my queue. This was the next thing I was planning on knitting anyhow. So it just felt like it was meant to be. So yay. My husband has just informed me I might be saying Anacortes wrong. It might be Anacortes. Oops. And the last work in progress that I have to show you is a sock. So this is just a vanilla toe-up sock that I have been working on while I go for walks. I wanted to just be a little bit more active, and I also want to knit more socks. So I had the idea of, hey, maybe if I have a sock project that is, I only work on this while I'm walking, that will motivate me to walk so I can work on this project. It gives me something to like do during the walks, because sometimes it's nice to like just be in the neighborhood and enjoying it, and sometimes it's like I need a little bit of something to like occupy my brain. And a vanilla sock is easy enough to just knit, especially once you get past the toe and heel. I'm not using any specific pattern. I'm going to probably talk about it more in an upcoming video where I'm going to talk about and like show you the process that I'm doing and like all of my thoughts about it. This is using, I'll put this info on the yarn up here if I can find it. It's some yarn I picked up last year during the Dogwood fiber trail. And yeah, I had set it aside for socks. Wasn't really sure what I was going to use it for, but it's this nice like hand-dyed It does a little bit of striping and speckling. I'm really glad I used it for a vanilla sock. And I actually have a little like mini skein that is about the color purple that's in here. So I think I'm actually going to use that to do the like cuff on these socks. They're toe up. Nothing super interesting, but yeah. And it's also my first time working with the like 9-inch shorties. And I think these are really great, especially for the stockinette like vanilla sock. So I did have a bunch of acquisitions this month. I'm not going to talk about them because I already showed them in my Knitting by the Sea retreat video. You can go check that out up here. But I did get a lot of yarn. And it sounds like I have more on the way because I won a giveaway with Knit Picks. Thank you, Knit Picks, so much for featuring me as the ambassador this month. And yeah, I'll probably have that to show you in next month's video. So a brief, like, off the needles, non-knitting thing. Let's talk about what I've been reading this month. So I have not finished 3 Bags Full. I do want to finish it probably in April, so that when the Sheep Detective movie comes out, I can, have finished the book and go watch the movie. But I was just having a hard time really concentrating on that. So I wanted something just light and easy to read. So I've been reading Brigands and Bread Knives by Travis Baldree. This is the 3rd book in the Legends and Lattes. And then Bookshops and Bone Dust are the other 2 books. And I have been really enjoying this. I know I've heard some critique of it's like people don't like this one quite as much. I think part of it is we are following Fern, who is the bookshop owner in book 2, instead of following Viv, who's been the main character in the other 2 books. But I've enjoyed it. It's fun to have like expanding the world. And it's a little bit different. It's instead of being like about a retired or like active like adventurer who's on a like rest break, that's how Bookshops and Bone Dust kind of starts out. It's about this bookshop owner who kind of finds herself going on an adventure. And that has been really fun, like a little bit of a different vibe to it. While still feeling like that cozy fantasy fun read. I am almost done with it. You can see like how far I am. So I can't fully speak to like the full book experience, but I'm enjoying it. It definitely like picks up about halfway through. And I absolutely love the goblin in the story. Like Zill, I think, might be my favorite character just because I'm so intrigued by the character and like who they are. So yes, I highly recommend all of the Legends and Lattes books, especially if you love cozy fantasy. They're just so nice. So there you go. That has been kind of what I have been up to in March. March was definitely a lot going on. I did the Knitting by the Sea retreat. I showed you guys my bookshelf resort. Hoping to finish up the Anacortes tea maybe in April. We'll see if it's an April or May finished object. And definitely want to get the Moby sweater done just so I can kind of like, it's not taking up that like work in progress, it's not finished mental space. What have you been working on this month? Did you work on any of the projects that I mentioned? Have you in the past, or are they on your like queue someday list? I'd love to know in the comments. If you want to find out more about my projects and keep up with kind of my day-to-day things, you can follow me on Ravelry and Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.